Yo guys, it's JJ, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through a Jack Harlow beat for his new album called Come Home, The Kids Miss You. In all honesty, it was a pretty mid album. I do believe that what I made could potentially fit on the album. I aimed it towards Jack Harlow. It's not typically what you'd usually hear from him because don't even lie, whenever you see Jack Harlow beats, you always see a guitar, flute, piano, basic stuff. But I decided to add a few extra things here and there to add a bit more spice, a bit more flair, something that you wouldn't usually hear on a Jack Harlow beat. And before we get started, right, you see this down below, you better subscribe, guys, because, hey, we're trying to grow out here. We're trying to eat. We're trying to keep food in our plates. You better help us eat. So, yeah, drop a quick sub. Let me take you through this. Firstly, for the first preset, and it's the melody that plays throughout the whole beat, Japanese Medium Room from the Piano V2. Now, when you look at this, you may be thinking, whoa, that's a lot going on. All I did was lay the bass notes, copy and pasted it up, and then do it one more time. And then all I did was place the chords that would be associated with them. And then the second note from each chord, I took it up an octave. So what ended up happening, I was voicing the notes. And then I just placed a little extra one to give it a bit more color, a bit more upbeat, a bit more of an upbeat vibe. Then I just strummed it using Alt S. I randomized the velocity using Alt R. This is what the main melody sounds like. As you can see, it's quite upbeat, quite like energetic. It's getting me ready for a flow kind of thing. And that's the whole point of this beat. I try to aim it to be like a braggadocious beat, a bit of a flexing one. For effects, I dropped some EQ, cutting out most of the lows, RC20. I had some Valhalla vintage verb, and that was all for the effect. Next up, I got a preset from Expand called Trumpet Sustain. That's the preset. What I did was I pretty much followed the chord that plays exactly where these notes were, and then I just strummed them and Alt-R'd them a bit, and then I added a little bit of like a long thing to the end just to give it a nice little bit of like a ooh, this is what the trumpet sounds like. Sounding nice, sounding upbeat, vibes, energy, that's how we like it. For effects, I added an EQ cutting off some highs and lows, and then a reverb. Next up, we got another preset from Expand 2 called Tremolo Strings, and obviously that's in the string section. I played this slight counter melody that pretty much the same bounce as the main chords. However, a different notes were applied and a little switch up at the end of every 4-bar. Then obviously played with the velocity. It's a nice little counter melody for some of the sections. This is what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? A bit of grace, a bit of elegance, just to give it a bit more energy, a bit more of an uplift feel, as I was telling you guys. And next up, we got the big boss itself, Omnisphere, with the preset Lotus Flute. If you know it, you know it. It's a very, very well commonly used flute. Very good though, which is why it's obviously used. And with that, I played a counter melody, and then I obviously just randomized the velocities. This is what it sounds like. Sounding very nice, elegant, you know what I'm saying? A bit of flair, that's how we like it. That's how Jack Harlow likes it. For effects, I added a weird like curved EQ for the top end and took out a lot of the lows. And added some chorus, so it was around like 78%. And then of course a bit of reverb. Next up, we got a preset from Expand 2 again, the fingerless bass, because I can't afford contact. And I literally just followed the root notes, and I decided to cut off the note at the end of every last one. This is what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? The bass is just like a nice little bit of a driving factor. It just gives it a bit more bounce and you're just feeling like, ooh. Right, with all that being said, time to show you the full melody. And as I just said before, I don't actually play the whole thing together. I sectioned it parts, bits throughout the whole beat. So it gives it a bit of variation, keeps it lively, keeps it interesting for the listener. And this is what the melody sounds like. And when the whole beats together, this just sounds 10 times more fire. Take my word for it. Right, now it's time to get into the drums. And first off, we got ourselves a Lex Luger clap. You know, simple pattern, and this is what it sounds like. No one wants to hear the 8-bar loop, but this is what it sounds like. Next up, we got ourselves some basic hi-hats. As you guys can see, I just messed with the velocity just to give it a bit more bounce, because, you know, Jack Harlow's a bouncy guy. He likes to spit a bit over his beats, feel that groove, and so this is what it sounds like. And that's the hi-hats, boys. Next up, I added a rack kick. You know how we do it. We got max them velocities as always. You click Control A, highlight everything, and with the scroller on your mouse, you know, just take it all the way up. And this is what the kick pattern sounds like. Sounding lovely. Next up, of course, we got the Airwave pattern. It's clearly just following the root notes from the piano. It's a Z808, so you should definitely have this one. And this is what it sounds like. Lovely, as per usual. And then last but not least, we got some little Congo hits happening at the start of every 2 and 4 bar. This is what it sounds like. Lovely little bit of extra bounce for the beat. And with that all being said, this is what the drums sound like together. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a full Jack Harlow beat. Hope you guys have obviously enjoyed the video. This was my own style. I think Jack Harlow would sound nice on this. It's a bit of an uplifting, bouncy beat. And before we end this joint, you know, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. It means a lot. You'll hear the full beat at the end of the video. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Take it easy.